it's Amber Kivett. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. It is our fun free Friday, and today we are not launching one product, but two products. So, streaming live right now on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, I would love to hear from all of you because one of you is going to be delivered one of these products to your home. In fact, we're not giving away just one product, but we're giving away one of each. So, in order to be considered for this giveaway, make sure that you are introducing yourself to me on the comment section. And I would like to know, for those of you, because we are streaming globally, and today in the United States is St. Patrick's Day. I've got on my green, although I'm not Irish, but nonetheless, still a festive, fun Friday. So I love to celebrate these days with you. So I want to know, since St. Patrick's Day is all about being inspired by the luck and the rainbow and the happy. So I want to know why you're feeling lucky today. What are you doing to make your day ultra special? Whether you celebrate St. Patrick's Day or whether you are just feeling lucky today. And if you are feeling lucky today, which product would you like to take home with you today or be delivered to your doorstep so that you can enjoy the convenience of world-class spa services at home without have to hire me to show up on your doorstep or coming to my facility or going to see your local spa for the same kind of results. So very, very excited that you're all here today. And so today is marking the special launch for not only our AllevaSole foot therapy device, but also we are launching, we're a little late from last week, but we are launching the Rejuva Wrap X today. And so the Rejuva Wrap X sauna blanket is very similar to some of our other sauna blankets that we have, but we have taken all the bells and whistles of every other sauna blanket that we've had released and have blended it into this wonderful blanket made of our leather material with the armholes, zip in, zip out, easy to get on, easy to get off, and it's of a good size. So that is our Rejuva Wrap X sauna blanket, and then the AllevaSole, which is red light therapy for your foot and your ankle. So we're going to go through some of this here in just a little bit, but I'm seeing everybody starting to ring in. And again, always excited to see you all today, especially on Fridays, because Fridays are my fun days and I like to give stuff away. And again, today we're going to give away one of each of these products. So I want to know what you're doing today that you're feeling lucky so that we can celebrate the luck of Life Pro with our Life Pro family. And it's all about community and bringing together all of us together for the greater version of ourselves possible. I've given several keynote speaking engagements this week, and so this just finishes my week strong. And so what I've been talking about with the keynotes that I've been sharing is how to be the best version of yourself possible by carrying your mindset, having control of four things in your life: what we think about, how we feel about those thoughts, what we say, and what we do. And so as we are able to process the information in our mind and we are able to control as to how we perceive the information that is flowing through, whether you are struggling at home with a different autoimmune disease, or you've just had a surgery, or you are dealing with just you feel like you're aging really fast, right? And you're trying to find a different way in order to get ahead of it. One way or the other, we have control over how we think about that. We can think about it as, is this happening to me or is this happening for me? And I like to think that things are happening for us in order to be able to give us a better opportunity, more motivation into the future, because the past is the past. Living right where we're at is living in the present. So that's what we're doing right now. And living into the future is our motivation for wanting to get things done. So I've been excited to have shared some thoughts about some of those different things, but it's how we process information, how we talk to ourselves, and how we perceive what's going on around us. And with Life Pro, we have the opportunity to provide you with these world-class products that give you the opportunity to have all of these different treatment modalities in order to age younger, right? My 45th birthday is coming up next month, and I feel like I'm running in my early 30s all over again because of what Life Pro has done for me. And so I'm beyond grateful every day that I get to serve all of you and that you're able to show up and be here. And I did see earlier that, yes, finding this page is somewhat impossible. We are so sorry. We're working on trying to streamline some of that stuff. But nonetheless, you're here, and that's what we're excited about. And if for some reason you missed us, you can catch us back on YouTube. You can go back to the Facebook page. This is being recorded live, so it just uploads. And so you can always come back and refresh and learn something that I've shared with you that might resonate with. But nonetheless, super, super excited today about these two new products. And so without further ado, to continue to celebrate all of you that are feeling lucky today, we are going to go right on into these two different products. Now, because I am late getting the Rejuva Wrap X out on the market, it's already been on the market for a little over, I want to say, a week. And we are launching, because you are lucky today, we are launching this product today for $359.99. So it's $60 off. And if you are looking for a product and you don't catch it at that launch price, if you go to the link provided, or if you happen to go to lifeprofitness.com, and when you click your order into the order summary, so when you click buy and then you go to pay, there should be a gift certificate or a discount code or promo code box that pops up if it's applicable. If it is applicable, type in all capital letters AMBER 10, Amber 10, and it will give you an extra little bonus discount on top of whatever the sale price might be for the day, if it applies. So what I mean by that is there are times in which LifePro is not allowing you to use the coupon codes with a promo that's already existed. But if that product is not on special, so if, for instance, you're wanting a Rumble X40 Plus, or you're wanting a Rhythm vibration platform, or you're wanting a set of the Axis air compression boots, if you type in Amber 10 all one, then you get an extra little kick, an extra little discount. So if you're feeling lucky today, go online, order whatever it is that you're interested in, try that code, and you'll get an extra little discount off. But today, because we are making you feel lucky, it is all about launching the Rejuva Wrap X at $359.99. Now, if you have already bought one of our other blankets, one of our other sauna blankets, I am pulling this fresh out of the box, and it's like having a party, because we've got all of these sauna wraps that come included, okay? So if you're wanting to increase the heat in order to melt the fat, we're giving you the extra detox wraps without you having to register or buy them on our website. Yes, they're little foil wraps. However, just remember, if you are wanting the benefits of the infrared lighting, don't wear this, because this won't allow the infrared light to penetrate through. So you're only wearing this if you're trying to detox, you're trying to eliminate waste, you're trying to increase fat metabolism. If you are a wrestler and you're trying to cut weight, you're in mixed martial arts trying to cut weight, you're trying to get into that skinny pair of jeans, or actually we've got the swimsuit season. Spring break is around the corner, right? So you're trying to get into the swimsuit or the board shorts, and you just need to shrink down another 3 to 5 pounds. That's when you wrap this bad boy on and you go cook yourself in the blanket. But do use with caution. Do use with caution, because it does get nice and toasty in there. But we do provide you several of these disposable wraps so that you don't have to go to the store and buy more, and you don't have to wait for us to send you more, okay? So here we go. We are gonna pull this out of the box. We've already used, like I said, we've had every one of these blankets available, and each one of them has a little bit more as far as features go as compared to others. They're all a little different. Make sure that when you get your product, that you scan the QR code with your phone using your camera, and it'll pop up the website that takes you to the warranty page. And then you can type in all the information, your order number, the date of purchase, and it kicks in that warranty, that lifetime warranty, you heard it right. And that way, if you have any issues with any of your products that you have purchased from LifePro, our phenomenal customer service is going to take care of you, and you will get to enjoy LifePro for the life of your product. Another quick reminder, make sure if you have any trouble whatsoever, whether you have activated that warranty or not, make sure that you give us a call at that 1-800 number that is posted there below. And that 800 number, in case you can't read the fine print, 800-563-6604. One more time, 800-563-6604, or send us an email, support@liveprofitness.com, and we will take good care of you. So, because we want you to stick around. So you're going to get more foil wraps when you activate that warranty. Another great little benefit you're going to get with the Rejuva Wrap X is we're sending you this nice cushy towel that has our name put on the towel just for you, that you can use to sweat, to cover behind your neck, wipe off your face as you start to drip, because that's what's going to happen when you get that on. So use it in the bathroom, use it for fitness. When you happen to be on one of our bikes or our treadmills, happen to get on there, just use your towel if you want to, but we're providing it for free in your bag of goodies. All right, moving on. Now, if you remember, in some of the sauna blankets that we have released in the past, you actually had to scan in order to get the travel duffel bag that came with, and this time we're including it for free. So LifePro is all about giving you all the bells and whistles and giving you all the options. And I am unboxing this in real time so you can see exactly how it's going to show up on your front porch when it arrives in just a few days after you place your order, because our shipping is lightning fast. And again, big duffel bag, everything fits and zips in there nice and neat. Everything folds up completely so that it's nice and handy. This just takes a regular outlet, okay? Just takes a regular outlet, nothing fancy. However, I would make sure, as I do with all of my products, I make sure if I'm using an extension cord that I actually have an on-off switch that I can divert energy on or off, or I make sure that I have a protection, a surge protector built into the extension cord. Don't just use your standard extension cord unless it's got surge protection or you have the power to turn it on and off when it's not being used, because we want to keep you safe, and our products are meant to be used in safe installed outlets. But this one is a 3-prong, so you don't have to have anything fancy in order to use it. Now, when we unfold this, this is going to unfold into a perfect square if you have it unzipped. So when you see our product advertised, you're going to see that it is advertised 71 inches long by 71 inches wide. Simply because if you unzip it completely so it's a big square, it is a perfect square, tall and wide, okay? The only difference between all of our original sauna blankets and this one is this one has armholes built into the leather coating, and this one does not Velcro. The original Rejuva Wrap that we released actually Velcroed, and it became really troublesome to get in and get out because the Velcro was getting stuck. So this is just like a sleeping bag, if you will, with infrared lighting built into it, and it has armholes so that you don't feel so claustrophobic, okay? So when we open it up, it is a perfect square. And so I'm opening it up so you can see just how big it really is, all right? So 71 by 71 wide. The max interior circumference, so meaning when you get all snuggled up inside, as big around as it is about 65 inches. So as long as you can wrap 65 inches around your waist and your chest with your arms tucked in, you're going to be fine in fitting into this blanket, okay? It runs off of 600 watts power with 110 volts of energy, and EMF emissions, electromagnetic emissions, is going to be anywhere between 0.1 and 0.2, which is very low, very, very low. That's near zero, okay? Which is like if you're using your cell phone, you're using your hair dryer, it is way higher than that. So Again, $359.99 for a limited time only. We actually sold out of one of our products. It was a few weeks ago, and people contacted me and said, Amber, we can't get the sale price that you had mentioned it. And it was because we had sold through them so fast, and they like to have just a limited number before they have to go and reorder. And we sold out of them lightning fast. So if you're thinking about getting them, today is the day to push the buy now button, because once we are out of these products, they're always working around the clock to try and replenish them. But because we have so many amazing products, you just never know at a time right now how much people are actually wanting to buy or what the demand is. So don't wait, because the special is $359.99. You're getting an extra $60 off, and it's awesome. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna zip it back up, and you're gonna zip it to getting into it just like you would a regular sleeping bag. I like to refer to it as a sleeping bag. And the control panel actually goes right here at the foot at the bottom, okay? And so I'm gonna pull this over. It's not too heavy to haul around, 16 pounds to be exact. But when you look in there, there's the control input. So we are, and you want to make sure that you're laying on a soft surface. Okay, I'm sorry. So let me rephrase that. It needs to be on a flat surface. You can use it on your bed. Just here's the recommendation that I suggest if you're using it on your bed. Make sure if you're using it on your bed that you're not using it directly on memory foam because of spontaneous combustion. If you don't understand spontaneous combustion, look it up. Basically, you get two different heat components next to something that can be flammable. Memory foam mattresses can be flammable depending on what kind of chemicals is built into certain mattresses, which not everybody knows right away, depending on how young or old your mattress is, if you know what I mean. So just make sure that if you're going to use it on your mattress, that you have some kind of a protective barrier between your foam mattress or whatever mattress you're using, even if it's latex. Make sure that you have some kind of a barrier in between, because we don't want heat generating heat into something that's not meant to have heat. We are using our portable treatment tables. So if you happen to have a massage table, you can lay it on. If you don't have a massage table, you can lay it on the floor in your home on carpet, as long as you're not, I would not recommend sitting like in a fabric recliner. If you wanted to recline back, it would be really hard to do that in a fabric recliner or in a recliner itself. So if you can lay flat, that is what I would advise. If you don't have the ability to lay flat, I'm going to show you some different ways in which you can offload your body to give you some relief in your low back and in your mid spine, because there is a specific way that you can position yourself in which it actually feels relieving for your hips and for your pelvis, your spine, your SI joint. And it's all based on where you put pillows along behind your knees or around your ankles. So if you are one of those individuals who does not like to lay flat, I can show you how you can work around that. And we have these little leg bolsters. You can buy them on Amazon for about $20. And it's an easy way that you can elevate, but these are actually made to work with heated elements as well. All of our massage tables here are heated in my facility. So it's like an extra bell and whistle when people come in to use our services. But if you want to do something like this, you can buy this on Amazon for like $20 in order to relax and placing these underneath your knees or your ankles so that you can completely unplug. Okay, so here's the control panel before I plug it in. We've got it's almost identical to the original sauna blankets that we've already had released. We've got our temperature, we have our time that's showing up here. It's very simple. We just have our power button here in the center, and you can turn up the temperature using the up button all the way up to 176 degrees and all the way down to 95 degrees. And then we have our time button. By default, if I remember right, I need to double check on the default time. I'll look that up here in just a second, because I actually have the manual right here. So I'll go through that here in just a second, but it automatically will turn on for a default time. And we can actually let you know that here in just a second. So we are going to go ahead and plug this in, and you can see how it works. If when you get your product, you start to get a burnt smell. It is not unusual to have that because the heating element, the infrared elements inside the blanket have not been ignited or used or turned on, powered on, if you will. So if you have not had a chance to turn on the blanket and you're combining that element with this leather surface, it can provide a little bit of a funky smell for a very short time, but it does not mean you're going to catch your house on fire. So don't panic if that happens. Just go with the flow and allow your blanket to heat up. And if it doesn't, if the smell does not go away after several uses, then it's okay. Just let us know and we'll get you taken care of. So we are going to go here into the bottom. You're going to plug in just like that until it clicks in, and it'll click in. It doesn't take much pressure, so you don't have to work very hard. We're going to plug into our power box here so you can see. Make sure I always have the extension cords at work. All right, so now you can see it's on. Okay, and so right now it's blinking, so we're going to power on. Default time as it clicks on is at 50 minutes. Okay, you can drop all the way down. If you hold the bottom button, it'll just drop down through the time change very quickly down to 5 minutes, and you can increase it by 1 minute increments, but as you push and hold, it's going to jump through much faster at 5 minute increments so that you're not having to constantly press. When it comes to temperature, you have 5 different levels. If I remember right, 5 different, no, that's not right. We have 9 different levels. So it shows as 9 different levels here in temperature. So when you're using the temperature setting, that's very different from our last blanket. When you're setting the temperature setting, you're not actually increasing it to a specific temperature number. You're getting into a temperature range. And so as we drop down to temperature range 1, temperature range 1 is going to be 95 degrees to 104 degrees. And temperature range 1, that's going to give you more of just calming your mind, calming your body, and relaxing things. When we go up to the next temperature range, we're at 105.8 to 113 degrees. We go to level 3, which is going to be 114 degrees to 122. Level 4 is going to be 123.8, let's just say 124, 124 to 131. When we're looking at level 1, like I said, we're just kind of soothing and stimulating the body. We are calming things down, relaxing our mind. It improves our sense of relaxation, a little coziness, right? Especially when you're in the cold weather. Now, level 2 temperature is going to be more about soothing our body and relaxing our muscles. So we're trying to get into more about the relaxation side of things as opposed to the calming of the mental side of things. When we are in level 3 and 4, those are 2 different levels, but again, anywhere from a range of 114.8 all the way to 131. When we're working between those 2 levels, now we're working with more of a therapeutic level of applying therapeutic heat. So we're getting more, if you see a physical therapist, more than likely you're going to get a temperature application somewhere in that range, as well as relieving pain and inflammation associated with chronic autoimmune. So for me, I have fibromyalgia. If you have rheumatoid arthritis, you've got osteoarthritis, you've got MS. When we're trying to find that level of therapeutic application that matters so that you don't feel as much pain, but you're not too hot, that's going to be your level 3 and level 4, which is going to be anywhere from 115 degrees to 131. All right. So picking 3 or 4 if you have autoimmune or chronic aches and pains. Level 5, just upped the number. Level 5 is going to be 132.8 to 140 degrees. We go to level 6. Now we're talking 141.8 to 149. So 142 to 150. When we are looking at levels 5 and 6, we're thinking more about promoting fat loss and boosting detoxification. So we're really trying to tap into that Krebs cycle, increasing ATP, increasing metabolism, getting the fuel started for the big burn. And we are profusely starting to sweat. So we're starting to detox to our greatest detox organ, which is between the kidneys and the skin. And so naturally with the skin, you're going to sweat profusely, which is okay because the blanket is made for that. It is not made to be waterproof. So do not submerge it into your bathtub in order to clean it. That is not going to work. And do not put it in your washing machine. That does not work either. When we get into level 7, 8, and 9, now we're talking like the super high end. So you're gonna level 7 is gonna be 151 degrees up to 158. Level 8 is gonna be 160 to 167, and level 9 is gonna be 169 to 176. Folks, that is hot. So if you happen to get in your Rejuva Wrap X and you happen to start getting nauseous, drop the level down, because sometimes it takes our body time to acclimate into what makes us feel great. And if we jump in at the very top end, like we're diving into the deep water with no life support, that is not a good way to learn how to swim. So you do not want to do that in the Rejuva Wrap X. You want to make sure that you are allowing your body to get comfortable. And so you might just start with 5 minutes and see how you tolerate 5 minutes. But I will tell you, 176 is hotter than some of the saunas that are out there. In fact, we just put in the Life Pro sauna last weekend. So it's now in the facility that I'm standing, that you can come in and get in the sauna before I actually work on the human body and removing the aches and pains. But the sauna blanket that we offer will take you up to that high level of threshold as well. But just make sure that you're easing into it and you're not just, I know you're like some of you are weekend warriors, you can handle all of it. Give me all of it, right? That is not the way you want to think about this. So make sure that you've got a water bottle, that you've got extra hydration, you've got that face towel, maybe soaking into ice water so that you can watch your face to cool off. And because you now have the Rejuva Wrap X, if you choose to, it has zippers in the front for armholes so that you can cool part of your body without getting too hot too fast. So again, starting at low level of 95 degrees and going all the way up to 176. Now, some of you might think 95 degrees, that's really hot, or 176, there's no way you can handle that. I want you to remember, it feels much different when you're in it than when you're outside. So if you're thinking 95 degrees outside is going to feel like 95 degrees in the blanket, that's not how it works. You want to make sure that you're able to take your mind into like the ultimate calming paradise of heat, dry heat, where you're not having to deal with humidity, you're not having to deal with the other elements. It is a totally different type of heat. And because we're using infrared, remember, the infrared lighting is more about penetrating from the inside out versus the outside in. Whereas if you were to put a heating towel or a heating pad that was in a hydrocollator in a physical therapy setting, you're talking about 104 to 110 degrees for that therapeutic application, but we're heating from the outside in versus the inside out. So think of a microwave, okay, but without the EMF. So when it comes to the sauna blanket, though, the idea with using infrared heat is the intention of being able to heat really deep, like down to the spinal level, heating bones, heating ligaments, heating tendons, heating connective tissue, blasting and tapping into melting away those fat molecules so that they can become more mobile and free so that you can actually burn them up for energy. That's what the heat is going to do. It's going to increase your core body temperature. So that being said, if you do have an autoimmune disease, MS is one that's really important to know, because if your body heat gets too hot, then you can actually experience more symptoms. So make sure that you're really careful if you have an autoimmune disease and you're not used to being in something therapeutic heat, that you are easing into it and instead of just jumping in straight at the top. How much time is a good amount of time? Start with the 5 minutes and ease yourself in, maybe 15 minutes for your first couple of sessions. You can do it every single day. We would highly suggest that you start every 48 hours and just work your way up and see how you handle it. And just be mindful of, I'm not going to fix this pain instantly, but I'm going to ease into the calming that goes in the mind, in the body, and in the spirit. And in doing all that together while my tissues are actually healing, I'm going to feel relief, and I'm going to be able to do things that maybe some doctors are not going to give me a chance at being able to feel. Now, one other thing that I want to remind you of, if you are using antibiotics or if you are on a medication that is light sensitive, that there's a chance that you can experience a sunburn by being outside. This is a form of phototherapy, which means it's the same photons as what you might experience outside, just different levels of radiation. So, or wavelength penetration, I should say. So what I want you to remember, I actually had this come up with a client not too long ago. We were trying to heal a wound from surgery that wasn't healing. The individual was taking different antibiotics, and some of those antibiotics were not photosensitive and some of them were. And it created a lot of redness around the perimeter of that incision. And so we're okay, we're safe. But we ended up in pulling back on the treatment protocol just a little bit until we had time to get those antibiotics going in the system before we were discontinuing antibiotics. And then we increased the treatment time and the exposure to the red light therapy once we were off the antibiotics. So if you are on medication that increases the chances of a sunburn, and it'll tell you on the label, then make sure that you err to the side of caution and you're going less intensity, shorter time periods, and just see how your body responds. And if it responds with more redness or more irritation, lay low for just a little while until you are through your antibiotic regimen, and then start trying to work on getting that number back up. Okay? Just want to make sure you know that ahead of time. Okay, now I know you guys are all so excited about seeing what Amber looks like getting into this blanket. So I'm going to go ahead and put myself in the blanket so you can see how easy peasy it is to get in and out. And I'm going to bring you a little bit more close and centered. In fact, I'm going to do something. I don't know that I've ever done this before, but we're going to do something really fun. We are going to take you on a little ride so that you can be side by side with me getting into this blankie. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so here's where the zipper lies, okay? So we're gonna open it up. Check out the armholes, okay? So here's our armholes. So we just open, zip, and these will zip open from inside or out. Now you can see, hello, okay? Now we are on a level 7 right now. So it's gonna heat up to 151 degrees, anywhere between that and 158. And I've got my blankie, my towel here. Okay, so we're just gonna open that up. I don't have to open it a whole lot to be able to get in. Now, here's the thing. If we're trying to lose weight, you can get in with your clothes on. I am not going to go naked for you on my birthday or today for that matter. So just remember that when you get in the blanket, it's better if you get in naked because the infrared has direct access to you. And so that's what we want. We want to be able to penetrate through to your tissues. Okay. So that wasn't so hard, right? And I don't even have it zipped. So do you have to zip it? No, you don't have to zip it. You can just lay here and relax. Okay, I have to remind myself I still have to work today, which means I still have to talk to all of you because you're watching live, and this feels so nice. Okay, back to reality. So we are turned on temperature level 7. Right now it's set for 45 minutes. If you want to zip up, there's the zippy, super easy. And let me wiggle. There's my arms on top, okay? Yep, arms are on top. Yes, this is great. Now, if I don't want to be zipped up, guess what? You can actually zip this from the inside. Yep, it zips from the inside. And so now the zippers are closed. So you can actually, you can actually increase the heat of inside by having those armholes closed and by zipping up the outside. So now I am like a burrito. I'm wrapped up nice and tight. Okay. All right. Now, yes. So if you want to get naked, getting naked is going to be the best way to be in here. If you don't want to be naked, then you can put on a swimsuit. Okay. But I'm just laying here in my spandex and my t-shirt. So I'm not really getting much infrared. I'm just getting a lot of heat. So if you want the infrared, make sure that you're in your naked or your undies or your swimsuit, okay? And that's how easy you're in and out. And life is good. Good with the Life Pro Rejuva Wrap X. So there is your blankie. Just like a sleeping bag. Okay, now we also have another product that I'm really excited to share with you guys today. And this new product, it is a red light therapy foot cover. So let me move everything over to here because we are full of new fun products on a fun-free Friday. We're going to turn this off so it doesn't get too hot. Okay, now, if you have heard some of my shows in the past, I like to use these power batteries. These are external batteries, so you can carry a charge without having to plug into a wall. I buy these on Amazon. You can buy like 2 for $25 or something like that. I have my phone charger plugged into it. So this is the charging cord that comes with it. So if you want to plug it into the wall, you have the flexibility and the convenience of doing that. This right here does not come with the product, just the one that plugs into the wall, okay? All right, so the AllevaSole Red Light Foot and Ankle Therapy. Today is its official launch date, so we are selling this today for an extra special of $109.99, $109.99. And so as you can see, it plugs in right here to the area. And again, some of our products might be eligible for using that Amberton code, while others might not. So just make sure if you're wanting to buy a product, when you go to the order summary, if it is eligible, you can type in the Amberton code in the discount box. And if not, then you're just going to have to wait for another special day. But it means you're already getting a really good price. Now, when you look at this, it doesn't look like much, right? But this is called the AllevaSole. And if we're looking at a size here, it is 17.5 inches one direction by 19.68 in another direction. And I know I'm wearing black, so it almost looks like one of those aprons that you wear when you go to get an x-ray, right? That's what it reminds me of. So the question is, can you actually wear it on your chest? Absolutely you can. In fact, I'm going to show you all different kinds of ways you can wear this because that's what I like to do. I like to come up with all these different ways of how you can use it by the enclosed Velcro. So the Velcro is already attached in order to be able to form it to your foot. But it is red light therapy and near infrared light therapy for your foot with 60 different light chips. And it already has an automatic timer that allows it to kick on for 20 minutes at a time. So let's plug it on in here. Okay, now it does have a lithium ion battery already attached to it. So if you're wanting to use this, the charge time allows it for 3 to 4 hours of working time. 3 to 4 hours is how long it takes to charge. So in other words, when you are using this, you actually don't have to be plugged in. I don't know that, let's double check here because I don't think, this just arrived on my doorstep a few days ago. So I was very excited to receive it. It's already charged and ready because Life Pro is awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. So you don't have to have any cords. It is wireless. It is got a self-contained lithium ion battery, which allows it to run for anywhere from up to 100 minutes. So we're just going to say like an hour and a half because I like to say 90 minutes is an hour and a half. So if you charge it, if you plug it in and charge it for 3 to 4 hours, it's going to give you an hour and a half run time. Yes, it will help with arthritis. It will help with aches and pains. It will help with scars. It will help improve collagen production, stem cell therapy production. So lots of great things. Now, you want to make sure that if you are putting it on one specific area, you do not want to use it continuously for back-to-back treatment. So in other words, if you are wanting to use it twice a day, You don't want to put it on for like 90 minutes and then push the restart button and then put it on another 90 minutes. We want to make sure that our body has the ability to receive the energy, adapt, and perform. Because if we just continue to interfere and to hack into the system, the body really doesn't know what it's supposed to do from a cellular level as to how to fix things. So we have to give our body a chance in order for it to take the energy that's provided, how we are hacking into the system. It has to have a way of rebooting or recharging and redispensing the output, however it is that it needs it. And the great thing about red light therapy, it works on a cellular level. So when our body is trying to repair itself, it's going to take that red cell energy, or I'm sorry, the red light energy, as well as the infrared light energy, and it's going to distribute it into the body wherever it needs to go for the fix. And then your body will actually start to feel better. So even though you're putting it maybe on your foot, you might actually feel symptoms improve in your shin or in your calf or even all the way up into your knee, because again, we are stimulating the production of cellular improvement through the extracellular matrix. And in doing that, our body actually has the ability of fixing itself in different areas besides the area that we are putting it on. We call that a local effect, creating a hopeful global response. So we're using it locally in hopes that it's going to provide a global response. Okay. So if you are wanting to use it for an acute injury, you just have an ankle sprain, you've just come out of a foot ankle surgery, you can put it on those areas that are not bleeding or seeping or infected, and you can use it 1 to 2 times a day for about 20 minutes. Okay. If you have chronic pain, so you've already had the foot surgery, you've already had the ankle sprain, now you're just like 6 weeks out, or maybe you're 6 years out, and you can feel how the weather is changing, your joints start to hurt a little bit, you can use it 1 to 3 times a day for 10 to 20 minutes at a time. So you can increase the intensity the longer that you've had the pain. If you're doing it for scar management or just to get ahead of the immune response and you're trying to boost your immunity because of pain control, if you know that it's going to be, the weather's going to be shifting, or you've got to be on your feet doing some different things for long periods of time, you're one of those individuals who stands on concrete all day, every day. Maybe you're a surgeon or a nurse who is in the OR for several hours on end, and you're just needing to recharge your batteries, if you will, and give your feet some extra pampering. From a maintenance standpoint, you can use it 2 to 4 times weekly in order to maintain. But ideally, if you're needing it for acute purposes or for chronic pain, you're going to use it multiple times a day in order to get the greatest turnaround on the recovery. So it does run all by itself. Now, if I push the button, let's see here, maybe, there we go. So if we push the button, here's what I want you to remember. We've got 60 different light chips. 30 of them are red light and 30 of them are infrared light. So if I push the button on and nothing happens, it's because the infrared light is on. And infrared light does not show up to the human eye. I'm seeing a question here. Did you happen to find out if red light therapy helps with gout? I have not looked up specifically for gout, but because gout is an autoimmune response and it is inflammatory, red light therapy should make a big difference if you are dealing with gout. And I know that that's something that happens very specific to the foot ankle. I've seen several cases of that. And in majority of the cases that I've worked with, it does, but I don't know the specific research behind it. I do know that there's a tremendous amount of red light therapy and infrared light therapy research, but want to make sure that a lot of the research that we figure out is in case studies that comes from all of you. So if you do use one of our products, whether it is the Sauna blankets or whether it is the AllevaSole or the Oliva Red Therapy belt, whether it's the regular or the pro, or maybe you're using the Oliva boots, regardless of what you're using, make sure that you're posting your success stories on the Facebook group, the VIP group, so that we can learn from you as to what you're doing, because everybody's cells respond different. We all have a different journey. We all have a different life that we've lived. We've all experienced different traumas. We've all experienced different procedures. We're on all different medications. We're different parts of the world where the barometric pressure is different. Elevations are different. So how one person responds to one treatment is going to be very different as compared to somebody else and how they respond. So that being said, make sure that you share what is happening in your life with the LifePro products. Maybe some of the symptoms that you've been suffering, maybe how often you're using it, at what intensity that you're using it. And yes, definitely do follow the instructions and the leadership that we at LifePro Experts are sharing with you. But we all learn from each and every one of your cases, and that's what makes us thrive. That's what gives us the power over other product companies that just have a few clinical studies that might be backing them. We have all of you. So make sure that you're sharing your stories within the level that you're willing to share your privacy. And we learn from each and every one of you. And if you don't have an idea of what's happening, but you do know that there's an improvement, post it, because that's how we learn and that's how we grow together. And if you're not doing so well with it, post it. Let us know so that we can give you some leadership and some guidance, especially those who have had the same struggle and are adapting and are learning and getting better. We might have to little tweak, because remember, all of these little things are biohacks, and we're hacking into your nervous system, which is a great thing, because if we don't hack into the nervous system, we're going to age very fast because of the stress that we're all under all the time. So let's talk about how to get this thing on. So it does Velcro. Okay, so there is one part of the Velcro, and then it Velcros back across over here. So a couple of different ways to look at it. Is this the foot or is this the foot? Okay, this is the cool part about LifePro, being that we have a lot of variability between how this is lying. We can do a lot of different applications as to how this goes on. So let me clear out my space here. I'm going to bring you a little bit closer to me so that you can see what's happening here at the level that I am. So you can see how I put it on my foot. So bear with me here as we bring you just a little bit closer to me. There we go. Okay, now I don't judge, but I did not paint my Piggly Wigglies for all of you today. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to let you see this up close and in person as to how it's situated while I adjust my little mount here so that you can see a high visual version of me. Okay, so there we go. Now you can see all of me. All right, there we go. All right, so again, if you happen to run low on the battery, you can plug in using the power bank, not included, just the cord is included, but you can plug in and have some options there. So I want to show you a couple of different things here. So if you have calf issues, remember, we have to expose everything directly to the skin if we are wanting to get the best out of the red light therapy, because the red light therapy does not travel through our pants most often. So if you wanted to go calf, there's your calf. Okay. Now my Piggly Wigglies are tickling outside, but if I go to Velcro, this is not how it's meant to go on. However, we are still getting the red light therapy, and I'm getting access here to my lower leg, to the shin area, as well as the calf area. So can you use this? Absolutely, you can use it this way. There's nobody saying you can't. And again, when I like to work with LifePro, it's because I get to come up with all these different variable applications of how we can use the same product and get to a different outcome because of the different ways that we can mold things. So that is not necessarily how it's meant to go on, but that's how I chose to put it on. So if we turn it back around this way, right, that gives me a really big foot. And I don't have a really big foot. So we can do it that way. Close it up the top. So guess what? If you have plantar fasciitis, this is the way to put it on, because now we are giving all the red light and all the infrared light to the bottom of your foot, which is where the plantar fascia is. That's where the inflammation is located. And so you can just sit here and hang out for 20 minutes with the boot on, and it is generating the different collagenous adaptations. We've got 28 different types of collagen, and red light therapy stimulates the natural production of more and more collagen in the body. And when that happens, that collagen has the ability to fill in with our, what we call the ECM, extracellular matrix. And in doing that, our body has the ability to fix itself. Isn't that fascinating? So here we are with the boot on the bottom of the foot, or like you call it the cuff or the boot, either way. If we are trying to get just the shin, okay, if we're just trying to get, if you got shin splints, if you're a track athlete, right now it's track season. If you are an outdoor runner trying to run those 5Ks or the marathons and you're starting to get calf issues or shins, we can really control, like right now I've got this covering the calf, but we can actually wrap it around the shin. And then check this out. How cool is that? Now we've got a shin cuff, okay? And all the red light is focused on just the shin area. So it's pretty cool to be able to expose all of that infrared light combined with red light into the shin area. Okay, so there's how you do that. But if we're trying to truly wear it, let's say you've got pain on top of your foot. If you have pain on top of your foot, you don't even have to wrap it. You can just sit your foot out and just put it on there. If you want to wrap it, you can most certainly do that. Let me show you here. So we would just Velcro that ever so lightly there. And then from here, just slide it on. And so now I've got it on the top of my foot and part of my ankle and shin. So if you have ligaments that are sprained and you're wanting to get more here on the outside, you can really isolate how you apply this to your foot. Now, as you remember, last week we came out with the knee brace that has the red light and infrared light built into the knee brace. So if you are wanting to use that, you can use that as well. But this is going to give you the flexibility of being able to use it in some different areas. You can also use it on the thigh. You might not be able to Velcro it, but if you happen to have straps that you can strap one side to the other from the outside, then sure, we can work on a quad contusion, especially if you're a football player, soccer player, or a softball player, you've taken a nasty hit to the thigh because of getting hit by the ball. This is very, very healing for that. So you can just wrap that on. Technically, if you wanted to, you can use an ACE wrap. You can use, they actually make Velcro neoprene straps that you can use because this doesn't come with extra straps, but you could do that. There's a lot of different ways you can use it. Now, the other thing that you can do, put my britches back down here. The other thing, our foot ankle and our elbow is very similar in how it is put together. So if you wanted to wear this on the elbow for tennis elbow or for golfer's elbow, bingo, isn't that awesome? And so here, sitting up close, you can see how you can see the red light therapy is really focused here in the area of the tennis elbow or the golfer's elbow. And it's all based on, how you position the wrap. So yes, when it comes to your shoulder, absolutely, you can wear it on the shoulder. Okay, if we have to expose here more on the tendons, and of course, if you have a sports bra or a tank top, or if you're a gentleman and you want to take your shirt off, you can put it directly on there. You just wrap it there underneath. This is where it always is better if you have two people. But wait for it. I'm going to get it. Okay. That's one way. So if we've got an upper arm issue, if you're a pitcher and you're wanting to work the whole upper arm and the elbow, you can do that or flip it around. And then now we can work it from this angle. And now we have the whole shoulder involved. And yes, my whole shoulder is covered in those red light and infrared light therapy chips. So you can have access to the whole shoulder. And yes, for those of you that are looking and are seeing how many different ways we can use this, you know me, I love to come up with as many different ways to use the same product as possible by hacking, even though it's only meant to be used on the foot. So you don't have to keep it on the foot. It's not going to hurt you if you use it someplace else. If you want to lay it across your chest, if you're one of those who's been to the tanning bed one too many times and you have those wrinkles right across here in your chest, then you can lay it across there, because guess what? The cutout is right here in the neck. And what does red light do for wrinkles? It helps eliminate it. It helps to minimize them because it's creating more collagen. So yes, if you, now you're not going to get a tan by laying here with the cuff across your neck, but if you are trying to work on improving wrinkles and fine lines here across your chest line, then absolutely you can do that. Why not? Who says you can't? Remember, red light and infrared light therapy are also really good for fat burning, for stubborn areas where you happen to have fat. Where do we all have fat that we're not happy about it? We all have it in our belly. So can you use it in your belly? Absolutely. You just take it and you position it underneath, and you're not going to be able to Velcro it, but by golly, we're going to be able to tuck it in. And there we have it in our belly. We lay flat, and there we go. So yes, you can use it in the belly area, okay? Now, just remember when it comes to, yeah, jelly belly, I love that. Because this is a lower level of light, you do not have to wear the goggles near your face. However, this is not meant to be used on your face. That's what our VisiCure light therapy mask is for. If it's up here, your eyeballs are not looking directly into the light. And even if I'm looking, as I am right now, I'm looking into the light, these light chips are not as strong as what our LumiCure light therapy torch is, or the BioHeal. So with either one of those, we've also got the big bulb. So you don't have to worry about safety protection for the eyes for those areas, because these are just chips. They're not like the big bulbs. So don't worry about wearing safety glasses. But this is about as high as I would take. This is about as high as I would take the AllevaSole in order to help with areas other than what it's intended for. I know. So I'm seeing everybody's commenting, and I'm really excited. Again, this for limited time only is $109.99 until they sell their first 100 of them. So do not delay. Make sure that you are able to click on the link provided. If you want to type in Amber 10 to one of our products that's not already on super special, it might give you an extra discount, but I can't promise you that. So do not say, Amber, use your code and it didn't work. It's because LifePro doesn't want it to work. It's because they're already giving you one heck of a deal. And so they limit how much you can take off. So just make sure if it doesn't work, it's not because the code no longer is working, because it really never expires. It's just not applicable to towards something that's in your shopping cart. The weight of this AllevaSole is only 0.53 pounds. So it's super, super lightweight. And again, when it comes into play, it was originally invented to being used on the foot for use of acute injury, chronic ankle pain, maintenance for those of you that might be on concrete all day, or have sore tootsie wootsies, piggly wigglies, different areas of your body. And as you can see, I'm a size 9.5 in shoes, and my toes are nowhere near the end. So this is going to fit somebody who is probably up to size 13 shoe. And even if you're trying to get into the ankle, you can have like a size 15 shoe and it'll still fit you, because the whole point is to take care of the foot ankle. If you're wanting to focus more here on top of the foot where the tendons are, the extender tendons, then we just flip this and we just work it from that angle as opposed to the other angle. So you can go with your foot pointed and relaxed, as I am right there. So I'm not in that traditional dorsiflexed position. I'm completely relaxed and pointing the foot in a neutral position. You can see the Piggly Wigglies are waving at all of you while they're getting a little extra pampering. So there's so many different ways you can use this, but main thing, again, you can use it on your low back. If you wanted to lay flat and put it across your low back, you can do that. So there are so many different ways to use it, but excuse me, you're not limited to what the instructions tell you. I think I've shown you about every joint that you can use it on. So that, my friend, is the AllevaSole red light therapy, infrared light therapy product. So when it comes to wiping this to clean it, what I would highly recommend There we go. What I would highly recommend, if you're somebody who is sharing this product with other people, just be careful using anything wet. If you wanted to spray Lysol on it and wipe it off with another cloth, like a microfiber cloth, to making sure that you're getting any kind of buildup, you just don't want any buildup on the actual lights. And just remember, some photon light therapy can be antibacterial. So if you wanted to take a disinfectant wipe, not water, but take a wipe and just wipe over the top of it, it's going to give you the instructions on how to clean it that come with it. And in some of our other products, we tell you to wear socks when you're using the foot massagers. But in this, if you wear socks, you're not going to get the therapeutic benefits of it. So make sure that your feet are clean before you put them in, because you do not want the stinky on this, because you cannot push this in, you cannot put this in a washer. You cannot put it in a washer or dryer. But again, when you need to charge, external battery also comes with a plug-in for your wall outlet. You can run it at the same time that you're charging it. So it is now being charged. Oh, let's see. Maybe I lied. Oh, jolly. I just think I ate my words there. Okay, hold up here. Let's see. Can you run it at the same time? You cannot. Okay, so something to be aware of. If your battery is dead and you're charging it, it cannot run at the same time, because I just tried to do that and it does not work. So you got to make sure you're charging it 3 to 4 hours for an hour and a half of time service. And then once it's fully charged, it'll click on, and you can click through it in order to get the infrared or the red light therapy, or a combined treatment session of both. So there is how you do that. Okay, now as I am continuing to see you all here, it is St. Patrick's Day here in the United States, and so many of you have been able to tune in live, which means one of you is going to win one of the Rejuva Wrap X blankets, and one of you is going to win one of the AllevaSole red light, infrared light therapy ankle foot sleeves. Okay, now as we are coming up with who our big winner is, I mentioned earlier to you that if you wanted to use the Rejuva Wrap X and you wanted to be in a comfortable position because it's painful to be flat, I'm going to show you how you can lay flat and how you can enjoy the blanket without having to be uncomfortable in a flat position. So bear with me here and I'll show you how that works. We're going to swing around to the other table. It's kind of like the game show that was once back in the day. Once we go through this door, what's behind this set of doors? Okay, I'm not going to plug it in, but I'm going to show you how it's going to work. So again, when it comes to disassembling, you're just going to pull that control panel out, and then make sure you unplug it from wherever you've got it plugged into the power source. You do not have to use the foils. The only reason you would use the foils if you're trying to lose fat or you're trying to detox, not if you are trying to use it for healing purposes. And so what I'm going to tell you, make sure if you're wanting to do this, do not put this inside the wrap. It'll go underneath the wrap. So underneath is where that's going to go. And again, if we are trying to enjoy ourselves laying flat, but we have back pain, then you're going to lay in the blanket with your legs, with your knees lifted up with this underneath. So this is going to go underneath the knees, and I'm still on a stable surface. And in laying here with that, with my knees elevated, now my pelvis is completely aligned as it should be, so that I'm not having to fight laying flat. So if you do have SI joint pain, if you have spine pain, spinal injury, hip replacement, some of those different things, you can lay on your back and elevate your knees using a bolster that you can get on Amazon, or you can just use some pillows to lay underneath. But make sure those pillows are not flammable. That's really important. When it comes to taking care of, if you wanted, for whatever reason, lay on your belly instead of laying on your back, you can. Let me show you. when you go to laying on your belly, the bolster now goes underneath of your feet and your ankles. So you can lay flat. And if you're wanting to lay more comfortably on your belly, for whatever reason that you want to lay on your belly, you can lay on your belly and elevate your ankles. And now, it's like going to the beach, but you're not at the beach, but you get to pretend like you're in the sun because it's warm like you're in the sun. But there's no sand and there's no water. It's just nice heat, like you're laying out in the sunshine. And you're getting the benefits of all of it all at the same time. And then you pop up and life goes on. So when it comes to other colors, they only come in black. This black leather is the only type that it comes with. I'm going to open this up so you can all see it. There's not much to see on the inside. It doesn't look like anything on the inside, but there is an infrared coil that runs in a weave up and down, and that's what's heating the blanket on both sides. So if you wanted to share this with a friend and there's only 2 of you in one blanket, what can you do for that? Well, because it is 71 inches, you're only going to be able to heat one side of your body at a time. But if you wanted to lay it open and you're wanting the infrared technology, then 2 of you can lay on here at the same time, and then you just have to flip over. So you could actually lay 2 people on this because you got coils on, you've got the coils, if I remember right. Actually, I have a visual of this. Let me feel around and see if I can feel. I know that there are coils on this side. I'm quite confident that you're going to have coils on both sides. Yes, I can feel the coils on the other side. Let me show you all something really quick. This is also available on the Life Pro website, but this blanket is not as simple as it looks, meaning it has been crafted with the best materials, with the best innovation in order to make it as phenomenal as it is. Like I said, Life Pro is a world-class innovative product company. It is not, they're not taking the cheap way out of anything. That was Joel's goal, was to provide you an extraordinary world-class product at a world-class price that you can all afford. So hang tight for me. I want to show you how this is all crafted. And while I'm doing that, I want you all to make sure that you are thinking about how lucky you're going to be today when one of you wins. And I want to know from each one of you, which one of you wants what. So if you are the lucky winner of one of these products, which product do you want to have? Okay, so when it comes to, let's talk about here the difference. If you all want to take a picture of this, this is available on our website. But I think it's really cool. It's a really cool, quick Cliff Notes version of what you're going to use each level for. So again, when it comes to the Rejuva Wrap X, those are the different levels of heat settings. Some of them come as low as 86 degrees. This one, the temperature setting, the lowest level is going to be around 95 to 101. So you're going to see overall well-being all the way up to fat loss and detox. Okay. So that is the Rejuva Wrap X. When it comes to how these blankets are made, here we are. When it comes to how these blankets are made, ours versus others, you're getting the detox wraps, you're getting a face towel, you're getting the carry bag, you're getting the armholes, you're getting it's made of a non-toxic leather material, and you're getting a lifetime warranty. So you don't get that with every other company. And you're not getting all of us that work with Life Pro to make your life easier by explaining all these great details as to how these products work. When it comes to how this blanket is made, this is what I love. We have on the inside, it's a waterproof fabric. And so we've got our armholes, we've got the body is here on the outside. So it's 5 layers deep is how this blanket is made. So the waterproof fabric, which is deep on the inside. So when you sweat profusely all over everything, the heating elements are not going to get your nasty sweat. And then there is a cotton layer built into the waterproof layer so that's a little more comfortable. And then from there, now we have the carbon fiber heating element that gives you the far infrared technology before you have another layer of cotton, before you have another layer of the leather, which is here on top. So 5 layers deep, 2 layers of cotton, 2 layers of cotton, and then you've got the waterproof layer, the leather layer, and then the carbon fiber heating element. So 5 layers waterproof. Now, just because it is waterproof does not mean that you want to put it in the washer, because it does not work very well when you're using it in your washer. So don't try that, because that's not covered on the lifetime warranty. Okay, now when it comes to the different things that you can do with this infrared blanket, we're sweating metals and toxins out. We naturally have a certain amount of metals in our system. Metals create a toxic result as far as aging and how hard our body has to work at feeling better. So it allows you to sweat out the metals and the toxins. It allows visible signs of aging to improve. So again, infrared light therapy is more about healing the body from the inside out, wrinkles, fine lines, joint pains. If you have had pain long term, you can sit in the blanket or sit in one of our saunas and feel everything healing you from the inside out. So if you are not already suffering, but you are an athlete or you are younger and you're trying to prevent aging and preventing pain and inflammation, then you can use it for preventative purposes of developing inflammation over a longer period of time. If you are somebody who is suffering of immunity problems, you're wanting to try and find natural ways to boost your immune system, that's a whole nother thing, whole nother category of benefits in which red light and infrared light therapy can help in boosting the immune system so that if other people around you are getting sick, you're not one of them to follow through. So let me just tell you, I have not had to take a day off from work for being sick, like flu, COVID, sinus congestion, cramps, headaches. I've not really had to take any time off in quite some time, but I'm constantly surrounding myself with other Life Pro products, and I'm constantly sharing those products with my clients. I'm on the vibration platform every day. We're using the red light therapy. We're using the air compression boots. And I know many of you don't have the ability to have all of these products at home, but just having a couple of products or even just one to get started is going to be an investment, not an expense, but is going to give you an investment on improving the overall outcome of your health and hopefully elongating your quality of life. When it comes to the AllevaSole, okay, when it comes to the AllevaSole, let's go ahead and turn this back on. Ours versus other competitors. As you can see here, you're going to get 2 frequencies of therapy light. You're going to get a frequency of infrared light as well as so these are near infrared lights. And you're also going to get the frequency of red light therapy at 660 nanometers. 30 red light therapy chips at 660 nanometers and 30 850 nanometer light chips at near infrared light level. So between that, other competitors are not going to have a fully enclosed boot or cuff. So when you compare ours to theirs, there is other non-branded names there. So it's not showing you a name, but you're not going to get full coverage. You're going to get over 100 hours of battery life with the red light therapy for every 3 to 4 hours that you charge it. And I'll just tell you, I think my LumiCare light therapy torch, between the original and the Pro, we've only actually charged those batteries maybe 3 or 4 times in the year's time that I've had it. And it is always available to work for us. We don't ever really have to worry about having to recharge. And with other cuffs, you're limited in using it in specifically the foot ankle, whereas ours, I've just shown you over the last half hour as to all the different places that you can wear it if you want to wear it, so many different forms of applications and how you can use the product in the convenience of your home or in the car or in a hotel or on the go. So if you're a professional athlete or if you are a high performing athlete who is always wearing out and you're trying to recharge in between, there's a lot of different ways that you can use the AllevaSole, okay? Red light therapy and near infrared light therapy. So let me see who our lucky winner will be. And I'm going to go ahead and move back over here so you can see me all here at the good height. Okay, I'm going to go back out of airplane mode on my phone so they can text me who the special winner is going to be for the day. We have one winner for the AllevaSole, and we've got one winner for the Rejuva Wrap X. Rejuva Wrap X. So without further ado, I don't get to pick winners because I don't get to see who is who. Okay, so we've got our winners here, and truly forgive me if I give the wrong name. In fact, I've never done this before. I'm actually going to write the name of the winner out. So I want you to be dreaming big. If you're one of the winners, be dreaming big. If you think you're going to win, and I'm going to write down the winners right now, and I'm going to surprise you by turning it around all at one time. So do 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 do. You get the idea, right? So keep on thinking, because I do not want to mess up the name. Almost there. I'm writing out the name. Oh, I think I misspelled some names. Okay, keep thinking. Keep thinking. Keep thinking. Stay tuned. Stay with me. Okay. Yep, I'm going to rewrite this because that is really bad penmanship. I know you. The suspense is killing you, right? The suspense is killer. But it's so much fun keeping you all waiting for the big winner. Okay, stay tuned. Almost there. Tell me, what are you guys all doing for St. Patrick's Day today? Because I am dressed, but I am not going to be out drinking beer tonight. Because do you know it takes 48 hours for one alcoholic beverage to leave your connective tissue system, which is not good for you. So if you are one of those who is out drinking beer, green beer tonight, you are going to want to have one of our sauna blankets so that you can detox later because you're going to need it. So think ahead, push order now. There we go. Okay, now we're ready. Okay, I have the winner. Okay, for the Rejuva Wrap X. Rejuva Wrap X. This is your winner. Okay, Rejuva Wrap X. Is it? I'm gonna say it's Brandis Palencia. I'm totally bad with names, but if you are here, this is who our Rejuva Wrap Spa Sauna Blanket belongs to. It is the Rejuva Wrap Brandis. I'm gonna say Brandis Palencia or Palencia. Okay. Now the AllevaSole goes to Shell Kent. Shell Kent, you get the AllevaSole. Yay! Okay, now, because I need to let Life Pro know where to send these products and what, which products you're getting, please make sure, I love it. Please make sure that you text me your mailing address, your proper spelling, because not everybody uses their real name for their Facebook name, right? But we're all real friends here. So make sure that you text me, please, your first and last name, your shipping address, your phone number, and your email, okay? First and last name, shipping address, email, phone number. You're going to send that to 317 446-7971. And that way we can get to LifePro your information and you can get those products sent to you next week so that you can enjoy them quickly. So again, 317-446-7971. I taught that to my kid years ago so she could remember the little jingle. From a self-defense standpoint, she had to be able to know my phone number. It's like the age of 4. And so we created a little jingle and it's just always stuck through the years. So that being said, it is Happy Day, Fun Day Friday. And so it is time to go out and have some fun. So I thank you all so much for being here. Next Friday, we'll be launching yet another product because Joel and LifePro are all about, I'll get you the phone number here in just a second. Joel is all about getting you guys the greatest innovations that you can use from the convenience of your home so that you can feel better and stay stronger and be able to enjoy the most out of your life. So next Friday, same time, same place, 317-446-7971. And for those of you who are wanting to get a hold of LifePro, where did it go? Where did it go? Here it is. If you're wanting to get a hold of the LifePro 800 number, it's going to be 800-563-6604. I'm going to have to come up with a jingle just for that one. That one's going to be my homework assignment next week, is coming up with a jingle for LifePro. So 800-563-6604. And if you can't get a hold of us through that phone number, then make sure that you shoot us an email, support@lifeprofitness.com. Again, support@lifeprofitness.com, because we want you to feel great with using our products with no hassle, with no stress, because our job is to take your stress away. So without further ado, let LifePro carry you away to the happier version of you. Enjoy today, enjoy the weekend, and I will see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend.